ladies and gentlemen, the guest of honor address would be about the public purpose to global potential policies for India's GCC surge. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my truest honor to introduce to you a true visionary. In fact, a driving force behind India's innovation renaissance. I think that is wow. Our esteemed guest of honor is not just an academic leader, ladies and gentlemen. He is, may I say, the very architect of the national movement that is reshaping how India thinks, builds, and also leads the way forward. Isn't it an honor, ladies and gentlemen, to be having amongst us the Vice Chairman of AICTE and the Chief Innovation Officer at the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, the one who has spearheaded, ladies and gentlemen, world's largest innovation challenge. Please note the Smart India Hackathon to landmark programs like Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements, and also the National Innovation and the Startup Policy, to just name a few. With such an illustrious research legacy spanning across the United States, Japan, and Europe, his deep information and, may I say, the domain expertise in bioinformatics and personalized medicine, he brings both the scientific gravitas and grassroots impact to his work. His mission, ladies and gentlemen, is bold yet simply very beautiful: to embed a culture of innovation across every classroom, every campus, every nook and corner of India's learning landscape. A recipient of multiple accolades and an inspiration to over 5 million students and educators, he is truly a force to reckon with. I would want to hear the applauses first, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in welcoming on stage a trailblazer, a change maker, a true luminary, our distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Abhay Jere. Dr. Abhay, we request you to please address the August gathering. Thank you.
Namaskar. First, I was really amazed to hear those adjectives, you know. We are not used to it. So anyway, I would really like to thank ET Edge for giving me this opportunity. I was listening to the panel discussion before, and a lot of fundamental questions were actually raised there. And there was a panel on AI before that, and so on and so forth. I come from world of education. Basically, I've worked for persistent systems. I'm a Pune. So whenever I get opportunity to come to Pune, I actually take that. But now I'm working for last 7-8 years with Ministry of Education as Chief Innovation Officer. So I don't know how many of companies have Chief Innovation Officer, but now government has a Chief Innovation Officer. So you can understand how progressive we are moving for. Okay. So how many of you are aware about AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education? So many of you are aware. For the people who are not aware, we are regulators of technical education in this country. We have around 13,000 institutions under us, except IITs, NITs, and universities, all technical institutions. And when we say technical institutions, that actually bracket covers engineering institutions, diploma institutions, then management institutions, and even hotel management is with us also. Okay, about 1.3 crore students are with us. So we actually make or break these students, kind of. And अगर आपसे मैं privately पूछेंगे तो आप गाली ही देंगे, हाँ? Because many of you would be HR वाले नहीं है ना यहाँ ज़्यादा, हाँ? है, हाँ? कि we don't get good engineers, we don't get good manpower, we waste a lot of time, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. So all those blames actually lie with us, and we are trying to work on these things. So I will, in next 4-5 minutes, 6 minutes, I will try to tell you what new we are trying to do. And then if time permits, I would actually like to have a dialogue with you. Because when it comes to education, majority of you will be very, very passionate because aapke bacche honge, and you must be having an experience of how some of the things would be very frustrating, outdated, and so on and so forth. So if that dialogue is there, then actually और मजा आएगा थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि this is a topic which is very close to heart. But what we believe at AICTE may be a bit different than what you may be thinking, and even the ground reality is also a bit on that, because we have a lot of data now associated with it. Do you know how many engineers we produce annually? Or technical graduates? Just yeah. So about 1.5 lakh. Yes, 1.5 million. Okay, 15 lakh, sorry. About 1.5 million. So we have already surpassed China when it comes to producing engineering graduates. And I don't think there is any company anywhere globally where an Indian engineer is not working, right? So that way, actually, through AICTE, through our government policies, and I'm talking about government policies over a period of time, we have emerged as engineering powerhouse or engineering supply fountain for the entire globe. Okay? Our people are going across the globe and actually doing really good work. So, from that perspective, although there could be a lot of ways or a lot of comments related to employability, and yes, there is certainly a great scope for improvement. I won't say no. I actually will concede on that. But still, what we have produced is something really miraculous in a sense. And what you see now, that we emerging as a fourth largest economy in the world, this technological talent, this engineering talent has contributed enormously towards that. So we should be proud of it from that perspective. But now moving forward, when you are getting into world of AI, not just AI, I don't know whether you had any discussion about Industry 5.0. I don't know. Still many people are in Industry 4.0 version. But within government, we have already started talking about Industry 5.0. Seamless man-machine interaction. How we are going to have people actually riding that wave. And we are taking multiple initiatives to actually push these kind of programs. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is very passionate about innovation and entrepreneurship. And we are the only country which does hackathon as a national initiative. There is no other country. And what we do for that, we go to various ministries and actually ask for problem statements. That give us problem statements, which will help. So that whether the problem is solved or not, we believe that that youngster gets connected to that problem. For example, रेलवे का अगर प्रॉब्लम है और मैं अगर 1 महीना रेलवे के प्रॉब्लम पे काम कर रहा हूं, तो मैं रेलवे डिपार्टमेंट से नोइंगली अननोइंगली जुड़ जाता हूं इमोशनली. He connects with the soil. He connects with our institutions. And now Smart India Hackathon has evolved as world's biggest hackathon. Annually, we get somewhere around 54,000 ideas. About 50,000 plus teams participate. And we actually do such a gigantic initiative. It's a logistical nightmare, but we do that. We are promoting design thinking in a very big way. I don't know how many of you will be aware. Bharat is the first country to actually have or actually offer design thinking from 6th standard. Have you seen those books? if you go on CBSE website, from books for design thinking, how many of you have heard design thinking? You must have heard, right? You are from all corporate, right? No? हाँ? तो ये तो जार्गन तो कॉर्पोरेट के ही है. हाँ? यहां बिठा दो, कितनी इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें करेंगे. हाँ? बाजू में लेके पूछो कि एक्चुअली क्या कर रहा है. डॉट फॉरवर्ड होता है वो. हाँ? बराबर है ना? हाँ? प्लीज डू द नीडफुल. प्लीज गाइड, प्लीज डू द नीडफुल. हाँ? मैं भी वहीं से आया हूं, मुझे पता है. हाँ? मैं क्या करता था. हाँ? But having said that, building policy for a huge country like India is not easy. And many times, even if we test and test and test, we end up realizing that still we are sitting in ivory tower and making the policies. Because the diversity and demography is so difficult to catch. You will always have people actually complaining for any kind of policy. In spite of that, we are pushing for change. And one of the change now is we are going to introduce AI. And already people have started, we have committees in place in all the technical courses. For example, if you really look at engineering, your first 1 year is common, right? Huh? Across the stream. Now we are exploring that whether we can make another semester, that is maybe a third semester or a fourth semester common, and we actually teach emerging technologies in that semester, like AI, ML, even cyber security, data science, so that each and every graduate coming out of our technical institution is ready to ride that wave. I don't know how many of you are aware of One Nation, One Subscription scheme which we have launched. Are you aware? Some of you are certainly aware. One Nation, One Subscription means all government institutes will have access to all major research publications. On similar lines, now we are actually exploring that whether we can have something for AI tools on those lines, where we as a nation buy license copies for our students and we can actually distribute those license copies at scale. Because if you don't have tools to work, then theory se to kuch hone wala hai nahi. So we are working on that right now. But as I was saying, we are pushing on actually technical education, revising the technical education in big way, upgrading the syllabus and so on and so forth. But apart from that, we are also pushing in big way on ideation and innovation. Because someone just asked, okay, that which is the great idea, why we are only consumers of ideas, why we are not generating ideas. And that's a very legitimate question we need to ask ourselves. And somebody said that we have not talked about patents and so on and so forth, right? During that discussion. I don't know how many of you are aware, but have you really looked at patent data? Can anyone tell me annually how much China files patents, or patents are filed from China? Any guesses? Around 16.5 lakh, 16.5 lakh patents. Any guess regarding US? No? Less than China, less than half of China. Okay? It's around 6.57 lakh. Okay? And any guess about India? We are just 70,000, 75,000. Okay? So, not just at educational institutions, we have to improve patent filing at every level. Okay? But this is not going to happen in one day. Because इवन 5 साल पहले अगर मैं कॉलेज में जाता था किसी, ओके, और मैं अगर उनको पूछता था कि हाउ यू विल डिफाइन योर सक्सेस, तो इट वॉज वेरी सिंपल आंसर, एंड यू माइट बी नोइंग द आंसर. क्या होता था उसका आंसर? 100% कैंपस प्लेसमेंट, 20 लाख का पैकेज या 25 लाख का पैकेज. बराबर है ना? इससे ज्यादा तो कुछ होता नहीं था आंसर. बट इन लास्ट 5 years, now things have changed. And now when I go to any of the campuses and I ask them that what is your success? How will you define your success? Yes, they certainly talk about placements, undoubtedly. But apart from that, they tell me that we have filed so many patents and we are incubating so many startups. And recently we did a study, and IIT Delhi did a study. Their management department did a study for us. Okay, what is the valuation of these startups? Now, people will have, when it comes to this valuation thing, कुछ भी होता है, बराबर है? Again, but still, we actually went ahead and calculated. And we were shocked. The valuation of startups, and I know people will have objections to this valuation term, but when we looked at the valuation, it was 1.5 lakh crores. Student startups, faculty startups, which are there. And even 5-7%, 10% of them actually end up seeing the light of the day. Actually, we are talking somewhere around 15,000 crores, 20,000 crores. These are the student startups, faculty startups, which are coming from our educational institutes. And they are not coming from IITs or NITs. They are coming from tier 2, tier 3 organizations. And we should be proud of that. I don't know how many of you seen Washington Post after our Chandrayaan 3 launch. There was a big article in Washington Post. How many of you have seen that? Not a single IITian or NITian was involved in it. The entire Chandrayaan 3 project was delivered by students or people who have graduated from tier 2, tier 3 organizations. Something very, very phenomenal. So, we are now on the right track. Yes, we have lost time previously. Yes, we have. But now the steps which we are taking is something, and many of the steps are first time in the world. For example, I will tell you, recently we have launched something called as productization fellowship. Means, if you are a student, maybe first year student, second year student, third year student, and if you have an idea, and if you want to work on an idea, we are now giving that student, first year, second year student, irrespective of which year, okay, we are now giving that student 37,000 rupees per month as fellowship to work on his idea, initially for 1 year, and if he performs well, then for another 1 year. I don't think anywhere such kind of fellowship exists anywhere in the world. Now we are doing that. We have started industrial fellowship program. Means everyone is talking about AI. बराबर है ना यहाँ? बच्चे भी आजकल जाते हैं तो आप पूछो कि किस कोर्स में लेना है? बीटेक इन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, डेटा साइंस, यही मांगते हैं. सिखाने को लोग कहाँ हैं? किसी भी कॉलेज में सिखाने को लोग नहीं है. Because the good guys are taken away by the industry. Okay, the so-called good guys. बराबर है ना? ठीक है, जो है. They are creating wealth some or the other way. So we have respect for them. हाँ? तो सिखाने वाला तो जिसको कुछ नहीं आता वो सिखाने को जाता है ना बहुत बार. हाँ? That's a fact, right? How many teachers have taken up teaching profession because they were passionate about teaching? जब सब आपका हो जाएगा 50 में, जब आप भी more or less obsolete हो जाओगे, हाँ, जब आपको कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है, तब आप बाद में बोलोगे नहीं अभी ना पैसा कमा लिया, अभी मैं थोड़ा सा टीचिंग करता हूं, हाँ, और प्रोफेसर ऑफ प्रैक्टिस बन जाता हूं. हाँ? But for people like you also, now we have created an avenue called as professor of practice. Huh? You are aware of that? If you are not, I will request you. There is a huge opportunity for many of you who want to teach. And we are calling them professor of practice. Okay? So you can be called actually as a prof. So please use that opportunity. Get associated with a college which is nearby. And they can actually give you that designation, professor of practice. So, जो पढ़ाने वाले के लिए लोग नहीं है, उनको भी हम ट्रेन करने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ कर रहे हैं, जो लोग ऐसे हैं. So we are having huge emphasis on teachers training. You will not believe, my dear friends, annually we are doing more than 1,000 FDP workshops, faculty development workshops, 1,000. यानी कहीं ना दिन में एक या दो कहीं ना कहीं तो भी चल रहा है देश में. Huge investments we are making to actually train these faculty members so that they become good teachers. But in spite of that, I actually manage National Award for Teachers, which our Honorable President of India gives. For last 2 years I am managing, even this year I am managing that award. And we have 35 awards for good teachers. Okay? But first year, we ended up giving, I think, 12, 13 awards. Last year, we ended up giving 16 awards. In this country of 1.4 billion population, we are not getting 35 great individuals whom we call that as great teachers. So we are struggling on those aspects. And we would like to seek your help in that regard. We want to actually, and that is the reason we started this industrial fellowship program, which is another unique initiative, where we are telling a faculty member, and that's where the opportunity is for you, we are telling a faculty member from college that go and work in industry for 1 year, okay, on a live project. Apart from your salary, we will pay you 1 lakh rupee as AICTE. 75,000 comes directly from AICTE, 25,000 from the industry where he will work. Okay? Apart from the salary. So if he is getting a salary of maybe 1 lakh or a couple of lakhs, on top of it, he will get another 1 lakh rupee. And I want to take this opportunity because there are a lot of industry experts here to actually join hands with us in accommodating these industry professionals. You have to only pay 25,000 rupees. वो तो तुम intern से भी कम पैसा है. And we will invest on them. But the only promise which you have to give is that you will put them on live project for a year. And then you have to release them after 1 year so that they can go back and teach. And that's where we actually want your support and collaboration. We are working on such initiatives, many such initiatives. मैं अगर यहाँ खड़ा रहते बोलता रहूंगा, so I can speak for a couple of hours. What kind of completely disruptive changes which we are trying to bring. But support from your side is going to be very, very critical. And before I close, I want to have one appeal to all of you. that currently we are working on our Smart India Hackathon initiative 2025. And we are very, very keen on having problem statements from our industry partners. What you will get by giving us problem statements is that you will get national visibility, because it's each and every college participates. And what you have to spend is give a prize money of 1.5 lakh rupees per problem statement to the winning team. And you can actually get best of the brains to work on it, and eventually that you can hire that. Your HR cost may also go down. So currently that is on, and you will you can reach out to me for giving your problem statements. But through this, what I would like to actually bring out here is that we are not on the other side of the table. We are together in this journey. We give model curriculums and so on and so forth. But I don't know how you understand this federalism of our country. You know, when it comes to education, it's in central domain as well as in state domain. Okay? So states have a lot of say when it comes to higher education also. So you have a lot of these state universities, many of these affiliating universities, and they may not follow what we are actually prescribing to them because they have their different viewpoint. And it's right. It is their right. But what I will request you here is that if you can get associated with any of the BOGs or any of the universities, then help them. Please, many times मैंने देखा है, मैं जब इंडस्ट्री में से, क्योंकि आई हैव बीन ऑन द बोथ साइड्स, जो फेकरी होती है ना, हमको कम करनी है, हमको सही में बहुत बार काम करना है, एंड मैं दोनों बाजू में बोलता हूं, एंड मेनी टाइम्स वी एंड अप प्रिटेंडिंग टू वर्क रादर देन वी वर्क. ओके, मीन्स आई एम हैंडलिंग 13,000 इंस्टीट्यूशंस. I can get time, and many times if I write to an industry partner on the other side, which is maybe मेरे से lower बंदा है, वो मेरे को 4 दिन बाद वाला डेट देता है because I am busy. I know, मैं भी था ना, उसको पता नहीं था मैं दूसरी था क्या करता था मैं. So we have to stop pretending to be busy, and then we have to actually collaborate in the right spirit. Because if we have to emerge as Vikasit Bharat by 2047, we have to emerge as knowledge-based economy. There is no other alternative. We have to generate ideas. There is no other alternative. We have to generate ideas. And if you have to generate ideas, then industry and academia has to work close together. Just भाषण देने से या बोलने से नहीं होने वाला है. We have to actually act on it. So I hope that you will reach out to me. We will continue this discussion subsequently. And if there are any questions or any, I will be more than happy to take. But let's start a good journey. And let's help build our Bharat together. Thank you very much.